What's up, guys? You ever just had one of those guns that you wanted so bad, and it took you forever to find it, and when you did, you weren't disappointed? That's the Sig XFive Legion for me. It took me a very, very long time to find this gun because I bought it back during the you-know-what that we're not allowed to talk about on here. And guns were a little hard to come by because they wasn't making as many, for one, I guess, because people were out of work and people was just buying a lot of them. And I honestly think that back then Sig was making a lot of 365 variant pistols and may not have been focusing as much on competition pistols because there probably wasn't a lot of competitions going on at that time. So it took me a very long time to find this gun. I will say it is a little chunky as far as right here. If you don't know, this is sort of like a polymer grip. I mean, it's like a tungsten infused polymer. It is polymer, but it's tungsten infused. The gun weighs like 40 some ounces. So it's not like your regular Sig, P320, which is what this is a variant of. It is a P320, but like I said, it is the XFive version. But it's not like your normal. Like I said, it weighs a lot. It is a straight competition pistol. It's not something that you're going to want to carry, probably. I'm sure there's somebody out there that does, because there's people out there that probably carries a Desert Eagle. I don't know. But some of y'all carry some big old guns, and I don't know how you do it. Maybe you just have more room than I do. Anyway, all joking aside, this is a pretty awesome pistol. I probably have about 500 rounds through this gun. I've had it for quite a while. I will say the finish isn't the best on these. I've got a scratch right there and a few scratches on the front end. I've never had this in a holster. My cousin has a buddy that has one of these and his finish is worn as well. So this gray finish just doesn't hold up as well as some of the other finishes do, in my opinion. But the gun feels really good in the hand, minus the light. This is how it comes stock. You do have this big giant mag well, which helps in reloads. And you do have a green fiber optic sight and an adjustable rear. It does come with all the windows cut in it and this flat face trigger right here. I think this is for aesthetics. I don't think this is going to lighten the trigger enough for you to notice pulling it. But this is the way it comes out of the box. Now I do want to show you something that is a little bit weird for a competition pistol. This is the magazine. Standard P365 magazines don't work because of this mag well, so I bought extra base plates from the ones I had didn't. Let me just go ahead and say that the ones I had didn't want to seat. I think you could seat them, but it was like really tight. So I bought extra Legion base plates for mine. This is a factory Sig part, but when you put this in, it sits flush, or essentially flush. For like a competition pistol, you're going to want something that you make sure is seated. Now, I've not had a problem because it's real big and I make sure I get up in there. But if I was doing like a speed reload, I could see how you could fumble that a little bit and maybe not get that fully seated and your magazine fall out, and that could cost you the match, possibly. So if I was actually going to use this in competition, I would probably put an extended base plate on my magazines just to make sure I got them seated. Without further ado, let's put a few rounds through it. And I already have an opinion on this gun, so I don't have to put 150, 100 rounds. I only have to put 100 rounds through it. But I do want to put a few rounds through it. We'll talk about the recoil on it. It has been a little while since I've shot it. We'll talk about the recoil on it, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay guys, so this has a different recoil. So it's a different felt recoil. It's more almost like a push than it is a jump, because the gun is so heavy, it wants to keep the front end down, and it has a totally different recoil than like a 19, especially some of your subcompacts and micros like the 43X and some of the 365s and stuff like that, where this is so heavy, it's almost like it wants to push instead of rise. And for competitions, that's kind of what you want, because you can get back on target pretty quick. You've seen a little bit, not crazy rapid fire, but a little bit of rapid fire there. Those were all on target, and this gun just shoots very flat. The weight, like I said, kind of keeps it down. That fiber optic front sight really pops when you pull it up, especially if you have you don't even need a lot of sun. You can tell I'm underneath a bunch of trees. That way, if it rains a little bit, I can still do videos. That's where I set my range up, so I'd have a little bit of coverage in situations like that. So there's not a ton of light here, but you can see that front fiber optic even picks up a lot of light in this situation here. One thing I do not like about this and a lot of other SIGs, fortunately SIG is kind of remedying this in new pistols, but when you take off the optic plate, if you want to put an optic on it, you lose your rear sight. Now look how much material is underneath this. They could have easily cut a dovetail into that, which I guess you wouldn't have had an adjustable rear sight, but they could have easily put a dovetail in that and put a rear sight on that. But they chose to make it an adjustable rear sight the way it is. And in my opinion, a lot of people are going to put optics on these guns, even in competition and stuff like that. A lot of people's not shooting iron sights anymore, so SIG should have catered more to the optic side of it, in my opinion. Maybe some people or competition shooters don't like rear sights, but for me, I think it just looks weird. My Canic doesn't have a rear sight with the optic on it, and when I pull that gun up, I'm like, that just don't look right. It's a lot quicker for me to acquisition an optic if I have something behind it to like give me a flat base to catch with my eyes I'm coming up. I don't know, maybe that's just me, maybe that's how I practiced. Maybe if I practice more without a rear sight, it'd still be great, but I do prefer a rear sight, and SIG chose not to put one on this pistol. Again, the weight is substantial. This thing weighs about as much as a government size 1911, a full 5-inch 1911, like 44 ounces, and this is right there with it, except you get a double stack magazine which holds 17 rounds from factory, from stock. I believe you get 3 of these. Now when you order a Legion, there is a little bit of a perk. When you order a Legion, you go online, you register through the Legion program, and you register your pistol. Now what that does is they will send you a nylon case with like a Legion emblem. This is the Legion emblem right here. They'll send you a nylon case that has like a Velcro place to put a patch on or something, and it has that emblem in it. You also get a coin with your pistol on it. So you order your coin, and actually, no, I say your pistol, but it comes with like an XFive Legion pistol on it. And I think the other side has the Legion emblem. But there's one more perk to actually being a Legion owner. You become like part of the Legion family. And what that means is SIG puts out like merchandise and merch, knives. They have all kinds of things that are Legion only, hats, and they have the Legion emblem, or they say Legion, or they have something, but they're Legion specific. And if you don't own a Legion and you're not registered as a Legion owner, you're not allowed to purchase those items. So I've never purchased anything anyway from the Legion part. I don't think I've ever purchased anything. But if you want your merch to go along with your pistols, and that goes for any Legion pistols, 229, 320s, 226, anything that SIG makes in the Legion line, they'll send you the coin with that specific pistol on it. And there again, you are available to buy merch and all kinds of other stuff to go along with it in the Legion family. That's just one of the kind of perks, and I think it's kind of cool that SIG does that. Even though I've never purchased anything, I still think it's kind of cool that SIG kind of makes you feel a little bit special for spending the extra money for a Legion versus buying these standard SIG. Is that worth it? I don't know. I love every Legion pistol I own. They're all great, but I still don't know if it's worth the extra price if you're not going to do anything to it. If you're not a YouTube reviewer, if you're not a competition shooter, this is a great pistol. Is it, worth the $400, $350, $400 difference between a full size 320? I have an RXP full size. It actually has a rear sight, and it came with an optic, where this didn't, and it was cheaper than this pistol by just a little bit. Not much, like $10, but it was still cheaper, but you get an optic with it. I love this pistol, but I honestly think if I was just going to buy one as like a novice shooter, as I want a home defense gun or something, I would go with the other one because you get more options with it, and you're just not going to use this for what it's meant to be used for. But there again, you do get access to all that fancy merch. Let's put a few more rounds through it. I'll give you my final thoughts, and we'll close this video out. All right, guys, I decided to do a couple more things. I'm gonna do kind of like I do the other videos. I'm gonna do like an accuracy test of this gun, what I can do at least, and then we're gonna back it up to 40 yards. I've got 10 more rounds in the box, so we're gonna do 5 rounds accuracy and only 5 rounds back there instead of 10. I haven't adjusted these sights much, but here is 3 shots and there is 2. So accuracy, not too bad. I may take it 1 click to the right before we go out there, but yeah, I can definitely deal with that. Much better than that CR920 I shot earlier. Okay guys, I took it 1 click to the right, or at least I think it's to the right. The top actually tells you which direction to turn it. The windage does not. So I think that's right. So 5 bullets, 40 yards, 42 yards. Let's see what we can do. This is open sights. I don't shoot a lot of open sights anymore. I shot them for years. I'm not making excuses, but this will be one of the first few times I've done this with open sights. Not sure where those were hitting, but we can't redo it because we don't have ammo. So I made several videos today, and I've shot probably 500 or 600 rounds, and I just didn't bring more than that because I didn't think I need it. 2 out of 5, not great. Not the worst I've ever done either. There still was the CR920. Okay guys, what do I think about this pistol? I love this pistol. It is crazy accurate, and it just shoots amazing, and it has such low recoil because of the weight of it. Now there again, the weight of it, you do have to think you have to hold 44 ounces in front of you. So depending on how long you're going to be at the range, you might need to bulk up a little bit if you're used to smaller pistols. But there again, the thing just shoots so good. Now, there has been an instance, I got to throw this out here because I know somebody's going to say it. There has been an instance in the past where a professional, I believe he was a professional, competition shooter, had this in the holster and it went off on its own. Now, I'm sure he had way more rounds through his than I do mine. Like I said, I'm probably getting up a little over 500 right now with what I've shot today, and I've never had that issue. I've never had that issue with any P320. But with people, having that issue, and these professional people having these issues, makes me to where I would never carry one of these for concealed carry. I have a Zev, and I think I've actually done a video on my Zev on here. P320, I think it's the compact, and I love that pistol. And I actually carried it for a little while. But the more rumors I started hearing about that, because I thought they had them all fixed, and they may do, But the more I've heard about that and stuff like that, I just can't bring myself to carry that gun anymore. And of course, this isn't a carry pistol, but I would never carry this one either. But I just wanted to throw that out there because there was an instance where somebody actually claimed one of these went off. I'm not doubting him. I'm not saying claimed as if he's lying. I'm just saying I wasn't there. I did see a video, looked pretty compelling, so it probably did happen. But that is what keeps me from actually carrying a P320. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about the XFive Legion. I love this gun. I love the gray finish. I love how it feels. Would I buy one? Yes, I obviously did. Do I recommend you buying one? Depending on what you're going to do with it, yes, it's a very fun gun to shoot. So I do recommend you purchasing one if you have the money to do it, and you're going to have multiple firearms, and this isn't going to be your only one, because I think if it's going to be your only pistol, this may not be the best choice. I appreciate you all watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys. We'll see you next time.